Alright, this is SmallEngineMechanic Mike here with a project for my buddy 805 Roadking. This is, if you're watching his channel, he's got a Maytag long base 92 he's working on. You saw him and I, we were tearing that down and he painted it all up. Well, I have the block here and I have the one of the bearing ends, one of the bearing housings, and remember we said that needed new bearings, new bushings. So he ordered a few. These are reproduction bushings, and I'm going to press them in for him. I've already got one pressed in. I'm going to press this one in. This is just a plain, it's got no oil grooves cut in it. I'm going to press that in here, and then I have the block here. Still has a bushing in it. I'm going to show you. I'm going to press that out, and I'm going to press the new one in for the block. Now this one here is just plain. However, I don't know if you can see, there's an oil passage there. I'm going to press the bearing in. I'm going to have to drill that after I press the bearing in. So that's what we're doing for him today, so we can get that engine back together. We're working on press here. It's not mine. I'm actually at work. This is the one that I use at work. The name, Manly Division, the American Chain and Cable Company, York, Pennsylvania. It's good, made in Pennsylvania. That's what I like. It's the gauge reads up to 60 tons. I was told this press is capable of 60 tons, but I'm not sure. The data plate's been painted over, and I have to scrape that paint off and find out. This press has some issues. But it does work. It doesn't prime very well, or it's got a leaking line, air gets pulled into the line, or it's got a bad check valve up in the pump here. So it takes a while a lot of pumping to actually get it to start moving. So I'm going to cut the video and I'm going to press the next bearing in. Alright, first I'll show you the tool that I made for these bearings. This is it. It's just a piece of 7/8 round stock. I've cut just a round 1/4 inch steel right here. I've cut that. It's 1 inch diameter, and this holds these bearings really well. It's got that washer in there, which is the inner diameter of one of these bearings, so it doesn't want to wobble. And the 1 inch diameter round piece of steel is a hair smaller than the bushing, so it clears the bore of the housing just fine. Works pretty well. So I'm gonna go ahead and press that in. I have a little bit of lubricant here that I'll shoot in there just to help it slide in a little better so it doesn't bind. Close the valve up and start priming. I don't know why it takes so long to prime up. One of those things I have to fix, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. Been pretty busy lately, and this press doesn't get used very often. Okay, I can feel it starting to build pressure, and there, it's pressing it in. Now I'll note that the gauge is not even moving. This is only taking maybe 100 or 200 pounds to press this bushing in. I use this press to straighten crankshafts. I've straightened a 2-inch crankshaft on this press for a flywheel engine. And it will build pressure. I've had it I've had it up to 20 tons straight in the crankshaft, but it will build pressure. Alright, looks like right where we belong. Now I'll release it. Another problem with this press is, if they weren't enough already, release pressure and the ram will not retract on its own. The springs are not enough, so you have to take this out, put a block across it. I thought I had a new block around here. That'll work. You have to use the screw to force the ram back up. I know it's a little redneck, but it's the only press I have, or I have access to. Alright, that's that one. Alright, we've got the block set in there now. And we're going to press the original bearing out of that. Close the valve. Start priming. See how snug this thing is. Such a pain to do. Oh, there. I feel it starting to build. Oh, there it goes. She's sliding right out. See if I can get you a shot of it. That out of the way. See it? There it is. She's out. Original Maytag bearing right there. She's got the oil groove in there and the notch for oil. I cut that notch there. This one has the oil grooves in it. All set. Let me get that ready to press it. Alrighty, let's press her back in. Have to note that the oil groove right there, that notch, has to line up. You can't even see. There's a notch right here. Right there. And that oil notch in the bearing has to line up with that notch in the block. Won't be too hard to do. Just eyeball it. Make sure that the notch is vertical in the block. She won't shimmy at all. easier. See if we can just tap it in. I have a piece of brass stock here. Set that on there. There. Just to get it snug where it won't shimmy around on me. Tight fit. Wait. There we go. There you go. Right. Valve. Try one more time. Okay, feeler's starting to go. There we go. Press is obviously not anchored to anything, if you couldn't tell. Just kind of sitting here. Now, there was about a 1/16 of the bearing remaining outside of the block, and it was flush at the inside. Looks like we're just about there. Maybe went a little bit too far, unfortunately. Open the valve. Force the ram out. Go back up. Yeah, looks like we might have came a little bit too far. Only by a smidge though. See if we can press it back out a little bit. Might have to use a block. I don't know if the screw will go down that far. Okay. Probably I'm going to even use just the screw to force it. Oh, I have the valve open. It's just forcing the ram up. Oops. Oh, let's say this ram's still going up. Why is it going up? Try timing it again. Has some issues, but it works. Only needs to go out about 1/1000th of an inch. Jeez, probably just use a hammer. Nope, this is for a 805 Roadking. Gotta be perfect. We gotta make this a show engine. Ultimate reliability. Okay. Start the prime. Oh, that's it. Perfect. Perfectly flush. Ready to go, buddy? Maybe tomorrow we can put it together. Should be a good runner.